Hey guys, Yugiohbouy here with a GB deck. I think this is the final build for my GB deck. It's missing one card, Retiari, and that's pretty much after it gets that Retiari, it's done. So I'm just gonna jump right into the list. But I will also say that I will be having duels and discussions posted up along with decks. So yeah, be on the lookout. We have 3 Test Tigers. Uh, this guy's a necessity in GB decks. You pretty much have to run him at 3. Now in this, I remember there was a time when you could run 2, but that day is long gone. But anyways, he's necessary at 3. You should all really know his effect, but for those that don't, he basically lets you swap out a GB, and that's really it. You can special summon him too. He's also a rescue cat target, which is really helpful. 2 Prismas. Well, Prisma, he's in here. People say that you don't really need Prisma, but I disagree. If you're not gonna run Ryos, which I don't have at the moment, but I will when it's in Gold Series 3, haha. Prisma is a very good alternative. It's a 17 beater, and it can combo with Test Tiger really easily. Also, I guess you could put in absolute zeros and kind of make like a Z-Troc Miracle Glad thing going on over there, but I just like to keep it simple. So he's really just in here to help you make Herc and Gyzarus. 2 Lucori, our beater of the deck. He goes up to 21 when he's summoned by GBs, and he helps us make Herc. Uh, Not only that, well, obviously all the GBs in this deck will play off the GB support cards, but this guy is really helpful because if you can get him out with his 21 boost and then play a Shrink and a Cherry, you've pretty much won, because your opponent would have to summon something with at least 43 attack to run over it. So he's just in here to beat down your opponent. A quest, mainly a quest will return your War Chariots from your grave with its effect, but it can also return your monsters if you need to fill up your hand for, say, a Respite or something. Mermello's just in there for monster removal. It's always good to, just if your opponent has a JD, it's fun to take it out with a Mermello. Haha, the weakest monster in my deck killed the strongest monster in your deck. Yeah. Bestiari. It really only in here to make Gyzarus. I was kind of hoping it would go to 2 this list, but it didn't. So I'll just have to sit here with my 1 Bestiari. I'm sorry, I need a moment. Okay, so he's just in here to make this guy. But he can also help clear your opponent's backfield for when you want to go for game shot. Darius. This card is in here. You can run 2, I guess, over, I don't know. I don't really know what you take out. I'd probably just add a second one in if you're going to put one in. But that's only if you really want to play off the Prisma Test Tiger combo. So yeah, if you really want to focus on Prisma, you can put in a second Darius, because he's really just in here to summon Bestiary from the grave and go for a Gyzarus. Or a Lucori and have another GB and go for a Herc. 1 Hoplimus, the defense of the deck, you can help you mill out Lice Warren decks, even though there aren't that many around anymore. 2 Samnites. Its effect of adding a War Chariot to your hand is really helpful, and well, being summonable by Rescue Cat can help you get your Lucoris out and do some serious damage. So yeah, Rescue Cat, pretty much main engine of the deck. Rescue Cat's in here to summon your 2 Samnites. You can deal 32 damage in 1 turn if your opponent's got an open field. And yeah, if you want to swap out, you can summon 2 Test Tigers, summon 1 Test Tiger, 1 Samnite, 2 Samnites, whatever you want. 1 Gale, the tuner of the deck. The halving helps your GBs overrun your opponent and the among other things, but really it's in here just because it's the only tuner that can destroy your opponent's attack, take it down 1 level. So yeah. Next we have Gores, in case you come up against any of those OTK decks that people always say that are around, but I've never actually seen. I don't know. He's just in here. He can, if your opponent summons a powerful monster and you've got an open field, or if you get him first turn and you're playing a burn deck, it could be helpful. Yeah. Cyber Dragon. Cyber Dragon's just in here because it's a free special summon, and well, getting another on top of your Lucoris, this can help you get out some serious, just beat down your opponent into game. And if you get it with a Gale, you get a free Stardust. So yeah. Onto spells. We got 2 Respites, the main draw engine of the deck, the only draw engine of the deck. This card's really helpful in recycling, Mermello or Hoplimus back to the deck, or even a Lucori or a Bestiari when you don't need them. And pretty much every time you have a duel, your hand will consist of at least 2 cards with Gladiator Beast in their name, so you can almost always use a Respite. And if you could get 2 Respites at the same time, you can also, gotta remember that you can return a Respite with a Respite, so yeah. one Proving Ground. Only one because, well, there's a lot of anti-meta decks rising up, so, you know, Ryo can't stop or spite, but it can stop Proving Ground, so if you get a Proving Ground and you're playing it, you got a Ryo on the field, unless you got a Lightning Vortex or something, discard it with, you're screwed. Two Shrinks. I mentioned earlier, really good play with Lakori or any of your other high beaters, because then your opponent has to summon something of really high attack just to get over one of your weaker monsters. You know, needing to get out something like a wolf to take out a quest is pretty devastating. Uh, to Smashing Grounds, probably the best monster removal in the game. It can help take out high defenders when your monsters can't get over it, or just clear your opponent's field of that JD, or because, well, there's a thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Most of the time something with a high attack will have a high defense. It's kind of a balance, so yeah. It's always good to just be able to take out your opponent's stronger monsters. Two, two Book of Moon. Uh, This card's in here. It can also stop your opponent's attacks, but it can also play off Darius, because if you bring something strong back like Heraklinos with Darius, it will lose its effect. But if you Book a Moon the Darius, the ruling is, since the Darius has not left the field, the Herc will not be returned to the extra deck. But since Darius is no longer face up, its effect is not active, so the Herc will gain its effect again, but remain on the field. So I think getting a free, 3,000 attack point monster that can negate all your opponent's spells and traps is pretty awesome. Brain Control, just in there. Take your opponent's monsters in synchro or attack, or clear the field for when you need to go for that game winning attack. MST and Heavy Storm is your spell and trap removal, for when you need to be a little more selective, to when you need to just clear the entire field. You have to be a little more careful with Heavy Storm now because of Starlight Road, so that's why I'm usually sided out for Giant Trunade. Next, the MVP trap of the deck, 3 War Chariots. This card is just freaking broken. Seriously, this is probably one of the brokenest cards in all the meta. It can stop effects of the field like JD and Dark Armed, and it can stop effects in the grave like Mizuki. That's pretty deadly. Just have a face-up GB and stop pretty much every effect except effects from the hand. Yeah, I'd say that's pretty fair. 2D Prisons. This card is really deadly. Just activate it. You can take out move your opponent's starters from the game completely, or take out your opponent's JD, or if you remove your Lightsworn's only Lumina or a Blackwing's only Gale, it can be really hurtful to their strategy. 2 Starlight Roads. Starlight Road is a freaking broken card. And the best part is, it's an optional effect for the summoning Stardust, so if you've used all your Stardust already, you can still negate the card, but you just don't summon a Stardust. So, negating a Torrential Heavy Storm, Black Rose, another GB decks, Gyzarus, yeah, it's pretty versatile. To Waboku, however you say it, I don't know. This card's just in here because, well, GBs need to survive the battle, so Waboku can help. Next, these 3 are pretty much staples. Clear the field, take out Dad or Dark Armed or same card, anyways, whatever. And call, just for when you need to bring back your monsters. So now, another quick flip through of the deck. This deck goes really good, wins at locals. People at my locals have actually started refusing to duel me because they know that I have this deck. Yeah. Anyways, hope it tops at locals tomorrow. Spring break, woo. So yeah, that's the main deck, and now I'll move on to the extra deck. Extra deck. Yeah, it's a little weird right now because I only have 1 Herc at the time. Anyways, 3 Gyzaruses. Gyzarus is in here because, well, getting, Gyzarus is pretty much one of the most broken cards in the meta too. GBs have a lot of over support. Like, I don't know. I think that being able to clear 2 cards on the field and then doing 24 damage direct, and then on top of it summoning 2, 21 beaters is pretty broken in itself, and I think that that's just way, way too strong. Even as a GB player, I say that's too strong. Next we have 1 Heraklinos, because I only have 1 at the time. You don't bring them out as much, so you only really need 1. Yeah, leaves you more space for synchros and stuff. Great. Comment and subscribe. Peace out.